Welcome to the spring semester at Allan Hancock College. My name is Christine Bisson, and I'm your instructor for nutrition and food science classes this semester. I am making this video for all of my new students, so whether you have my class that is the FSN 110 Nutrition Science Online, or the FSN 110 Nutrition Science Hybrid, or the FSN 133 Introduction to Food Science Hybrid, all of you, I want to welcome you. I'm looking forward to getting to know you and working with you this semester. This year is already turning out to be kind of an adventure for all of us. I know that the coronavirus pandemic is in the midst of a major surge, and many of you have been facing personal and professional challenges in these last couple of years. So let this be an opportunity for a fresh start as we start learning together this semester. I'm going to give you just a very brief introduction now and tell you a little bit about my philosophy of teaching and how the classes are laid out for this semester and how I hope that we'll be able to proceed with learning. But I have to just begin by saying this is the year of any year that we really need to be flexible and we need to communicate clearly with one another. So that's why I want to start off right away just by saying I'm here for you. I will be working with you and making adaptations throughout the semester as it goes along, depending on what our needs are. So each of these classes that I'm teaching this semester are a little bit different. For the online nutrition science students, all of your assignments you'll be able to complete in Canvas, and you can do it in your own timeline. We don't have to meet exactly at the same time. However, there are specific due dates that are already set up in Canvas, and there's a learning module for each week. So from Monday until Sunday night, you have time to work through the learning module. There's usually a graded discussion, a study guide to complete, and a quiz. And all of the assignment instructions and some extra videos and guidance are provided for you in Canvas. I'm here to be a facilitator for your learning, so I will encourage you to stay on top of assignments, but I'll also be a resource if you have additional questions or if you need help with anything. We will interact a bit as a class through the discussion board, and I want to encourage you to get to know your classmates. And feel free, though, to contact me if you have questions about anything or if you're having any technical difficulties with Canvas. Because we don't get a chance to meet face-to-face, I'm going to be using other ways to try to get to know you and to work together with you. But just know that I'm here, I'm real, and I am going to be sometimes working in my office on campus and sometimes at home and sometimes even just using my phone. So I'm available for you and we can keep learning together throughout the semester. For those of you in my nutrition science class, that's the hybrid version, where we meet on Mondays and Wednesdays at 11, I will be conducting this class in a room and Zoom format for this semester, which means that you'll have the option to either attend class in the classroom or via Zoom. So there'll always be a Zoom link for each class. And my goal is to be able to have equal experiences for everyone who's in the classroom and in Zoom. I think a lot of students prefer the in-class experience as far as the hands-on and being able to be right there to ask questions. But some students need to be able to participate via Zoom because they're either in quarantine or they have kids at home that they're trying to take care of because school is closed or whatever the situation is. I want to make sure that your access to this class doesn't end just because you can't be in the classroom for a particular class. So you can also bounce back and forth. If some weeks you're able to be in class, that's great in the classroom. If other weeks you can't, you can participate via Zoom. I want to encourage you, though, if you do participate via Zoom, you really need to be ready to interact with your classmates. We're going to be using the Zoom features such as the breakout rooms, the chat, and polling. It's helpful if you have a webcam and you can share your video when we're having discussions, but I'm not going to require that you show your video. I know that everyone comes from different circumstances and has different backgrounds in their homes or wherever they might be Zooming from. So in order not to be a distraction and not to be a hindrance to anyone's learning, I'm going to allow you the flexibility to either have your camera turned on or turned off. But I still will ask you to participate and interact. I think we're going to learn together better that way. For both of the nutrition science classes, there will be some online lecture or, I guess, intro content for each of the chapters. And I will post those videos in the learning modules for each chapter. There may be some interactive features with those videos too. I'm playing around with a new feature called Canvas Studio. So I'm learning how to use some technology to be able to make my lessons a little bit more interactive. We also will have recordings of any Zoom sessions available. If you did not get to participate in a Zoom session, but you want to see the recording, links to those recordings will be available in Canvas. And I'm going to make those links available to my online students as well. So even if you're taking this class online, you'll have access to the in-class recordings so you can see a little bit more if you're curious about some of the things that we're talking about in class and how we're working through the material. Some of those things, just watching those extra videos, might give you some great ideas about how to understand the material or how to get your assignments done more easily and more quickly. So take advantage of those things that I've got for you there. For my Introduction to Food Science students, I'm really hoping that we'll get to meet face-to-face as much as possible, because we'll be doing a lot of work with food in the classroom. We're going to be doing some cooking demonstrations, we're going to be doing some baking, and we're going to be burning some things up. Yes, we learn how to fail and fail gracefully and learn from it as we do some different things with cooking. Now, those of you in my nutrition science classes, you might get to see some of the videos that we produce from our food science class as well. And we might even be posting some videos that we create as a class to Instagram. So any of you who are interested in food, nutrition, cooking, health, and just being well, all of you will be able to participate in contributing information that we share with the public and that we share with our campus community as well. Just a little bit about me and why I'm teaching. I wanted to give you just a quick introduction. I've been teaching at Hancock for over 20 years, and I first started out my interest in nutrition when I was 13 years old and my brother was 10. He was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. This was a huge shock for our family, and it took a lot of learning and a lot of working together to get him back to health, because he was really quite sick for a while. But through that process, my reaction was to want to learn as much as I could and to be able to understand what was going on with him. And I started realizing that nutrition plays a huge role in our health and in both preventing and treating disease. So through that, I became involved in a summer camp for children with diabetes. I worked as a counselor in training and then as counselor. And through that, I got involved in the nutrition side. I worked with the medical director and a dietitian at the camp to make meal plans and plan menus and work one-on-one with individual campers. So that was my introduction, and I fell in love with nutrition and really decided to pursue it as a career. I went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo to get my undergraduate degree in nutrition, and then after I graduated from Cal Poly, I moved to Denver for a year to do an internship in nutrition, and then I took the exam to become a registered dietitian. I started working for the WIC program, the Women, Infants, and Children program, through the county of San Luis Obispo, and I worked there for 6 years. Then I moved to working on my master's degree in nutrition while starting to teach part-time at Allan Hancock College. So I earned my master's degree through an online program in nutrition science at the Rosalind Franklin University of Medicine and Science in Chicago. And I have been, again, teaching here at Hancock ever since. But one interesting detour I had in nutrition came after I had only been teaching at Hancock for a year. I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and I went through a year of a lot of surgery and chemotherapy and a lot of treatments, and finally emerged as a survivor. It still impacts me in many ways. I am much more appreciative of life being on the other side, and I learned so much about nutrition and health being a patient instead of just a practitioner of nutrition. After going through my cancer experience, my husband and I were able to adopt 2 wonderful children, and we still live in Arroyo Grande. The Central Coast of California is our home and always will be. My daughter is 17 years old, my son is 15 years old. We have a very busy family. My husband is a retired firefighter, but he is now kind of helping to keep the kids on track with school while I'm at work a little bit more. So I really am grateful for all the opportunities I've had to learn about nutrition and health, and having fun along the way. And even with all I've learned, there's still more. Always. The field of nutrition is constantly evolving and changing, and even now we're learning a lot about the immune system and what role nutrition plays in fighting off all sorts of illness, and including everything from cancer to diabetes and heart disease, how we can reduce our risk or prevent or delay consequences is really, really valuable to know. So I hope that these classes that you're taking this semester will give you a good foundation in looking at your own diet and health in a new way, and also building some tools and resources that are going to help to keep you healthy, and maybe even lead you into really fun and exciting careers in the future. As we go through this semester, please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. I love talking about nutrition, and I love hearing from my students, especially if we are separated by distance being online. I really want to encourage you to be an advocate for yourself and be proactive if you have questions or comments about anything that you have going on in our classes. There will be a lot of materials for you in Canvas to review. You're going to need to do a lot of reading, watching of videos, trying out little assignments that I'm giving you for the orientation. There's a whole separate video that describes what you need to do for each of the types of assignments or quizzes or things in Canvas. But again, as you go through things, feel free to contact me if you have any questions. I look forward to working with you this semester. And yeah, 2022 is going to be just fine. We're going to be all right. You got this.